Hello and welcome to episode 42 of Made in DM podcast. My name is Vi and I'm coming to you from a very sunny but windy day. I will have a disclaimer saying that there's an open window behind you and suddenly the sun is brighter, so I feel like I'm a bit like a squinting panda. I hope it's not too distracting and there are no children playing outside because it's a regular school day. So hopefully you won't notice any difference. As I said, my name is Vi and this is mainly a knitting podcast, but as you know, I do sometimes sew. Last week I complained about not having any sewing mojo, and then Stash Dash started. And I foolishly declared that I'm going to knit 15,000 meters of yarn over the summer. So what happened? Well, I got my sewing mojo back. Well, partially. Partially it's my sewing mojo and partially it's just I really wanted to finish this shirt that I'm wearing. The reason I wanted to finish it is because I love the fabric. The fabric is fantastic. Let me just stand up so you can get a better view of it. Oh, sorry. The fabric is just amazing. It's a Liberty fabric. I think it's called Q to the Zoo. And as you can see, I have full length sleeves. I did the placard and cuffs and everything. There's even buttons sewn into it, tiny little buttons. But I prefer a 3/4 length sleeve, or as someone likes to joke about and tease me about, I don't like it when my sleeve touches my wrist. We all have our different uniquenesses, and that's one of mine. Some might say that's one of many weirdness that I have. This is the, let me get a little closer. Actually, I hope you're not don't get seasick, okay? I'm just going to adjust you just a tiny bit because I think you're a little too high. That's probably better. Anyway, the rounded colour that I remember to turn the right way around again is so nice and lightweight. This time I didn't accidentally tack down one side of it while doing the buttonholes. I chose these shiny pearlish buttons because I felt that it looked nice with the fabric and the whole vibe of this shirt. The shirt itself, well, it's a good thing you can't see as closely as I can because this hasn't been washed. I finished it Tuesday afternoon. Wore it to knit night Tuesday. Probably should have washed it yesterday. I didn't. And it still hasn't been washed because as you can see I'm wearing it. And it's just so comfy and I love the long length sleeves and how they work. The blouse is the Colette Violet Blouse pattern. But the sleeves are from the Colette Aster blouse. And it's one of the sleeve variations from there. I chose this one because the violet blouse either has really short sleeves that they look like they'd be a bit tight and just short and awkward. Or you had the same as I had with the other blouse. The dark blue with the red robins on it, where it was just it was an elbow length sleeve cinched in with elastic. Elastic is the word. And I wanted this to feel more like a proper shirt. I don't know why, it's just maybe because the inspiration for this was a men's shirt. Obviously, I've done it a lot more feminine. It has these little pockets here, and it has a rounded collar. It has waist shaping, so darts and everything. So it's very much a feminine version, but I first saw it as a men's shirt. And in my head, proper men's shirt has long sleeves, sleeve plackets, everything. So I really love this. I love how this shirt or this blouse works up in this really flowy, thin fabric, because it has a different look than my other shirt, which was a bit more structured, which gave it a bit more, I don't know, a bit more of a proper look somehow, or a prim and proper look, whereas this is just, it's still buttoned high in the collar. It's still prim and proper, but it just has an easy feel to it. I do have a bit of a Sacred Say vibe today because I'm wearing it with a skirt, and I wore it with jeans the other day, and there's a photo on my Instagram if you want to see it, and I feel like it changes the vibe depending on what I pair with it, so I can see myself wearing this a lot. Maybe I should wash it to get these little threads out and the chalk lines and everything. But yeah, it's done. And I have another project that I've started, but I'll show you that a bit later, because I have another FO. As you know, I'm doing the Naughty Knitwits Socket 2017 knit along. I also mentioned Stash Dash, so yes, I am doing Stash Dash. And my first and so far only entry for Stash Dash is my Naughty Knitwits May socks. I haven't clipped the ends yet, but they have been washed. Random threads everywhere. The yarn is Hedgehog Fibres in the club colorway Spore, and the pattern is the Bluebird Café by Olivia Villarreal. I changed it. I mentioned this numerous times. I've changed the pattern. The pattern is written for a 64 stitch sock. It's a paid-for pattern, but I don't think I'm giving anything away. It's written for a 64 stitch sock. The chart is for a 64 stitch sock. It doesn't offer any explanation as to how you could modify it. I did modify it simply by adding extra stitches to the chart. But yeah, just be aware of that, because I don't think it says on the project page that it's, or the pattern page, that it's a 64 stitch, and the only way to, according to the designer and the pattern, the only way to change the size of this is by changing the gauge using a bigger or smaller needle. And although I agree, gauge does change a whole bit, having that as your only way to modify the size may not work for a lot of people, because even though you might get a gauge, especially with socks, you might get a sock that fits by going up a needle size or down a needle size. But with socks you really need something sturdy, and if you get too open a sock, if you can't get too dense a fabric, in my opinion, you can have a bit of problem with the lace showing up properly. But if you go larger, you risk wearing out your sock quickly, or more quickly, simply because it doesn't have the same sturdiness. So just be aware of that, and I think it might be the same with all her patterns. I'm not saying it's a problem, or that I don't agree with that way of writing patterns, because hey, to each their own, and if you're a 64 stitch person, these are perfect for you. Don't have to think about anything, just do it. If you're not, and you're not ready to modify it, I like to think that if the pattern page had said it, more people would probably be aware. Again, it's the designer's choice. I support her decision to do whatever she wants and design it whatever way she wants. I just like clarity, or I would have preferred to know that, hey, this is a 64 stitch sock. Anyway, another way I modified it is by using a different heel. This is the double button gusset heel, because it fits my foot so much better, and it's not that much more troublesome, and you avoid having to pick up stitches like you would in a I say proper gusset heel, in a normal gusset heel or standard gusset heel. I also modified it by knitting the lace pattern on the back. The original is just a plain back. I was going to go for that look, but I just decided not to. Would I have liked it just as much if it was a plain back? Yeah, probably. But that's not the way I went. So these are all my, I think it's like 260 meters for Stash Dash. Yeah. Did I mention that I've already declared 15k? Madness. So, finished object. With my sewing, or just in general, I've been complaining that, oh, I haven't knit anything this week. I haven't felt motivated. I don't speak. I haven't really felt the motivation to knit a whole lot this week. I don't complain about it because it is Stash Dash. I know I should be hitting X amount of meters per day. I doubt I'm hitting that, but hey, who knows. But looking back, I have actually knit some. Not a whole lot, but some. Like, take for example my Konfetti. Last time we were at the yellow marker, I say we, which is here, and it's before the separation for the sleeves and the arms. That's the same thing, body and the arms. So I separated them. I finished the arms. One, because I want to knit this tunic. It's supposed to be a tunic. If I can get it more dress length, I will be thrilled. If it's a tunic, I have leggings that'll work. Or jeans, depending on how short it'll be. Because I don't support that leggings are trousers. Leggings are supposed to be innerwear. You need something over them. That's just my hang up, clearly, because so many people disagree, but yeah. Anyway, because I want to have as much length as possible, I decided, okay, I'll just finish the sleeves. I've actually woven in the ends as well, so the sleeves are complete. This also means that I'll have the advantage of being able to try it on just by putting in an extra needle and just trying it on and seeing how far I've gotten. Well, I've gotten to the bit where I am going to start doing waist decreases, so we're just actually around boob length. That's not to say that I have long boobs, but you know, I'm not quite hitting the underside of my boobs, so, or under my boobs. Am I the only one who just got the mental image of you know, this blue-footed boobies? The bird species. I think the combination of the blue and saying boobs too much. It's just, wonder when saying boob will get me a different rating. Let's not try that out, because this squinty panda is not X-rated, at least not on camera. I'm terrible today. Anyway, I've only knit on one other thing, and but I have a lot of progress to show. Mainly because this 3mm needles yarn that sticks. And the yarn is Hanne Falkenberg. Is it Night and Day? It's the cotton wool blend. This, which was last knit on Tuesday night for knit night, is out of Wollmeise Merino DK. It's on size 3.75mm needles, which goes pretty fast. And let me find the little piggy. Here we go, little piggy. And then it just got on and on and on and on and on. So yeah, I made a whole lot of progress on this, including at midnight, because I love my little old ladies. I say little old ladies. They are all older than me, some are only a couple of years older than me. But some of them are several years older than me. I love them. We're knitting again in 2 weeks' time? No, 3 weeks' time, because there's an event going on in 2 weeks' time when we're supposed to be knitting again. And that's the last time before summer. Yeah. Anyway, this is Tin Can Knits. It's the Snowflake pattern. And it has this opening here that will be closed using buttons and a little placket. And it's just, it has this nice lace up on top that you can't really tell because, let's see, there. It has this nice lace on the yoke. I really like that the front and the back have one lace pattern, and then the sleeves have a different lace pattern. It's really hard because I have stitch holders on these, so there's not a lot of room to show you. But yeah, they have a slightly different pattern, and it all goes together so well. But it also keeps your interest a bit. Now all of this is just plain stockinette. There is waist shaping. I have done the decreases and have now started the increases. Let me just rescue a stitch here. There we go. as you can tell, there's not a lot missing on the body because I am a third through the increases, and when you hit the increases there won't, or the full body circumference, there won't be a lot of knitting before I have to do the bottom band, which isn't a rib, it's a seed stitch, because that's what the top is. It's a seed stitch band. And yeah, then it's sleeve city, but as we know, 3/4 length sleeves, so it'll be faster than if I did full length sleeves. And again, it's on 3.75mm needles. It'll go faster. I'm not saying that this will be completed next week. Trust me, I'm not saying that. But in a couple of weeks time, sure. This is, I added the second, sorry while I bent down. I've added the second skein of the Wollmeise. It's Petit Poison number 5 in the Mittel colorway, I think. Which means it's just medium intensity. And it's really nice to work with. It has some fluff on it because my flat has fluff. So yeah, I have plenty of yarn still left over. I have some trouble. It may just be me, but whatever yardage that Tin Can Knits Patterns tells me I need, even if I'm spot on with gauge, I always use less. Yeah, I think I always use less. So that's that. But this will be, I love the colour. This will be so great when it's done. Hopefully you won't get to wear it because I am hoping for summer. I may be foolish to hope for summer, but hey ho. Okay, sewing. Because as I said, that's all I've been knitting on. Did the cuff, first day of stash dash. Been knitting away, been doing a lot of sewing, because when you last saw this blouse, I had done the sleeve plackets, but not the cuffs. I hadn't done the collar, and as we discussed previously, there are like 16 or 17 pieces to the collar. I hadn't done the buttons and all that, so it feels like I've done half a shirt in a week. Could have done much more quickly. But my next sewing project is the Sointu kimono top. It's by Named Clothing, which is a Finnish brand, I think. And you get it like this, and there's, well, the pattern is here. It's on sturdy fabric, sturdy paper. You get a little booklet, which is over on the table, so forgot to bring that. And compared to this, which, like I said, 16 or 17 pieces for the collar though, this has, you cut out 15. It has 5 different pattern pieces. You cut one of them twice. So that's what, 6 pieces you have to cut out. I've cut everything. I've not started assembling anything yet because I finished cutting it last night. I haven't. Let me show you the. This is just the. This is what I'm using for. Well, this is the fabric I'm using. Gold cherries on black. It's not cotton, it's tencel, and it has this sort of shine to it, and it's really soft, and I think it will be great. This is written for a knit jersey. A thin knit jersey, I think. For proper drape and everything. But on Instagram I saw someone who had sewn it up in this exact fabric. And I thought, that looked really nice. Right, this is for the sleeve bands. As I said, it's a kimono top, so it'll have sleeve openings and which are finished with a band, and it'll have a belt, and it'll just be really nice. And I struggle a bit with it being really loose fitting, because as we know, I like things that are fitted. But I like the look of this being oversized. Also, what it doesn't tell you, but what you can see on the pattern piece itself, is that when it mentions bust, how big the bust will be, and I think there's almost, is it 12 or 15 centimeters positive ease from my bust size to actual bust. But this will be a bit tough to see. But on the pattern itself, pattern piece, it shows that it actually measures the bust here. So you get a bit of the sleeve with the bust, or the bust line. And I can't figure out if it means that the X number of centimeters is the circumference alone, or the circumference including the little sleeve gaps. Time will tell. But yeah, as I said, it's really simple piece. I don't even know how this is categorized, if it's a beginner pattern or what. But it seems really simple. I haven't sewn it yet, but it seems really simple. It seems like a really wearable piece, because you don't have to put anything underneath. The tencel is really cool to the touch, but I think even though it's black, it'll be nice to just put on and just wear out this summer, hopefully. And if this works, I was thinking I have this really nice white satin with a flower print, with a blue flower print. If I have enough, I might make a dress out of it. If I don't have enough, I might make a top out of it, this top out of it. Because the tunic I was intending to, that I bought it for, I'm never going to end up making it. I could, but I just don't want to. So yeah, hopefully you'll see progress on that next week. Now, I did promise you a purchase, or purchases I should say. One of them is not crafting related, but you know I love pins. And I fell in love with this pin here from boxmonster.com. That's the website down there. And I don't know if you can tell through the packaging, but it says, "I'm not weird, I'm limited edition," and it's a unicorn. So I ordered this, and I ordered this cute little kitty cat note. Because I used to play music, I used to play the transverse flute. And I will say, these are pretty reasonably priced. They're from the UK, shipped out of High Wycombe, I think. The only thing I know about High Wycombe is that James Corden is from High Wycombe. Trivia fact for you there. And this was £6.50 I think, and this might have been £7. or £6.50 as well. In addition to this, they actually sent me a vinyl sticker of the unicorn. I don't know what I'm going to put it on, but I love it. I would never have bought it myself because I'm not a sticker person. As I said, I don't know what I'm going to put this on. But I just love it. It's so cute. Obviously I love it because I bought the pin. But yeah, highly recommend them. Pretty fast shipping as well. And as I said, they're from the UK, so there's no import tax or anything. My other purchase is something I've waited for. As I said last week, I blame Charlotte for everything. Because I love her dearly. So, I ordered this. It's the Artisan by Helga Isager. I bought it in Danish. I'm pretty sure you can have it in English as well. I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure. And I love some of the patterns from here. I might do a bonus episode, which in the form of a book review of this and the other book I got that I'll show you in a bit. But I think I'm going to cast on for this, which is also the front page body cover model. It's called Ivory, and it's just a simple reverse stockinette blouse with a bit of detail around the sleeves and the shoulders, and it looks really nice and comfy. I also want to do the ebony, which is sort of the same shape only in a cardigan, and it does remind me a lot of the, it's not Starling, is it? No. She has Helga Isager made one in a powder pink some years ago that I also have and love. Charlotte made this in a really beautiful green, and she's also making a blue version, which I love. And what really pushed me over the edge was this silver cardigan. And I already think I know what yarn I want to use for this. It'll be a dark blue. But yeah, I just picked this up today from the post. It had perfect timing. I was downtown. I had a meeting with the job centre, and as the meeting was ending, I got the notification that, hey, you can pick up your post. So I did. The reason why I got it now and not when I ordered it last week, is because today is the release day of this. OLJ by Marianne Isager, and OLJ is Ursula Jensen, who was a knitting designer, really famous Danish knitting designer in, I think, the 60s, 70s. And her company is what ended up being Marianne Isager's company today. And the concept behind this book, I bought it sight unseen because I hadn't found any. Oh, but look. Yeah. I bought this sight unseen, and I know this one is either already in English or will be soon to be released in English. But she's from a tradition where there's a lot of color work, and they call it Zootastic. And Zootastic is what a lot of people think of when they think of knitting and the 70s, and this is the story about Zootastic. It's the story about it's the story about, well, just knitting traditions or that period of time, and it has, from what I understand, it has updated patterns by Oslo Jensen, as well as patterns inspired by her. And it's just, I'll admit, the geek in me likes the history part, but this one, I want to knit that one. It reminds me of a Helga Isager pattern that I own. But yeah, it's just, I want to knit that one. I really need to sit down. I haven't even, this is the first time I'm opening it. You're seeing everything live on camera, which is why there's no real rhyme or reason to any of this. But as I said, I think I'll be doing a bonus episode with a bit of a review of this book and the other book. The reason I'm choosing to do it as a bonus episode is because I know these are in Danish. Some of you aren't Danish, and that's okay. If I only wanted Danish viewers, I would be doing this in Danish, and half the podcast would be in English anyway, because that's my phone. As much as I forget words in English, that's just me being absent-minded. I am missing a lot of terms, knitting terms and sewing terms in Danish, because a lot of the patterns I use or have been using are in English. So yeah, instead of having a Danish podcast only interesting to Danes, I choose to do it in English, and everyone's free to watch. And everyone's free to watch point above, because I don't care. Anyway, love this book. I'm pretty sure that I won't be able to resist casting on something from this book. Haven't decided what yet. I really shouldn't. I should finish something else first, and it's June 1st, so I also get to cast on a new pair of socks. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of doing a pair of socks for my mom, because I was sitting down yesterday and thinking, okay, what yarn do I want to use? What pattern do I want to use for a pair for myself? And I was stumped. Whereas with my mom, I can always do a pair of vanilla socks, ankle socks, and she'll be happy. So I think that might be my contribution to the Naughty Knitwits for June. Let's face it, I'm going to be casting on this cover. I just need to find the yarn I want to use. Anyway, that's it for today. That's everything. And a lot of rambling, and hopefully not too much squinty panda. But if I have been squinting at you, I'm sorry. It's not you, it's me, it's the sun, it's the weather, it's everything. It's not you. Anyway, I hope you have a great week. I hope if you're doing Stash Dash that you're doing much better than me. Because let's face it, you can't be doing any worse than me. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Have a great week. Bye.